This is Max Power here again. Happy New Year's. And in classic American fashion, we have another shooting, this time involving ICE. You know, it was bound to happen. So apparently, Renee Nicole Good, 37-year-old mother from the Twin Cities, has been shot by an ICE agent in the face 3 times. She has passed away. It is unfortunate with all these untrained ICE agents in all these cities causing chaos, destroying families, but it was only a matter of time. She was supposedly blocking in some ICE agents, and upon being told to move, she was in the action of backing her car up. A couple ICE agents approached the window and opened fire. This is tragic, but predictable. Kristi Noem made a statement. We can look at it here.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased.
Donald Trump also has made a statement where he calls the ICE agents' actions self-defense.
I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer? Did you see an ICE officer get run over?
We can see this is clearly propaganda. So what happens now? This case itself is going to warrant a federal investigation and also a state investigation. But it's my guess that even if there is a federal investigation, I don't trust Kash Patel's FBI to take any proper action. And even if he did, I don't trust Bondi's Department of Justice to bring any charges. And if that were to happen, I also believe that Donald Trump would just pardon him anyway. Most likely the state's going to pick up this case. But because he was acting as an officer, his lawyer, I guarantee, is going to ask for a change of venue to the federal government. Donald Trump did broaden police officer immunity, but if the state was to pick up this case and push state charges, I think based on the video alone, a minimum of second-degree murder is in order, if not manslaughter, or even first degree. Minneapolis is on edge right now. You know, they're coming off the George Floyd protests, which did cause a lot of panic, a lot of riots, a lot of damage done. The worst thing that could happen right now is for Minneapolis to just go crazy, which would then, in the eyes of this administration, it would then justify them sending in more officers to do just what they've been planning on doing this whole time. I feel like this administration has been looking for the right case to declare martial law. They've been pushing the envelope in every aspect. This is the perfect case. You can just look at the video and see that both Kristi Noem's statements along with Donald Trump's statements, they don't coincide, they don't make sense. The only thing that would have made it better for them is if this was a migrant, but this happens to be a white woman. A lot of their standard narrative isn't gonna cut the mustard. But again, it hadn't stopped them from making those absurd fucking statements already. I'm shocked this hasn't already happened. Trump has gone out of his way to put ICE and other federal agents in all of these blue cities on purpose. And it would be Donald Trump's wet dream for a bunch of riots to break out. Then he would feel justified in sending more agents into the cities. There was a doctor who was on the scene who was asking, can I check the body? Can I go check for a pulse? Can I help? I'm a doctor.
Can I go check a pulse? No, back up, now. I'm a physician. I don't listen.
But the ICE agents were like, no, we have doctors on the way. Those doctors didn't show up for another 15 minutes. You know, cops aren't allowed to shoot a car if it's driving away. That's part of all the rules. That's what you learn as a cop. This car wasn't even any kind of threat. There's no warrant for her. She broke no laws. For Donald Trump to say something like this cop was acting in self-defense, when we can clearly see he was in absolutely no danger. As a matter of fact, after he shot her in the face, he put his gun back in his holster. Clearly, you didn't feel like you were in any danger. He approached the vehicle to go see what he just done. If you felt like you were in any danger, you would have done that. As a matter of fact, the wheels of the car were turning away from him. He kind of leaned into the car just so he can get a good shot. I've lost all my faith and respect for our federal court system, even all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the way that they have acquiesced to Donald Trump's wants and his needs, even in direct conflict with the Constitution. They've granted him all kinds of leeway to break the law. I keep getting led back to the same place. Like, I gave America way too much credit. For us to have a functioning democracy, we would, in theory, need each other to want the best for each other. But that's not the case. That's just not the case. And I keep wanting it to be. I keep trying to will it into existence. But then you have things like this, it shatters my whole worldview. I tend to be an optimistic person, but this incident is a failure of so many systems. So many systems that we held up in what we call this American democracy is a failure of so many systems. And even if justice is served, this is still a fucking tragic, and it was completely unnecessary. Being an American kills your empathy. But yeah, another day in America.